The morning sun cast long shadows across the quiet suburban neighborhood of Maplewood as Elena stepped out of her house, her heart already heavy with dread. For 3 weeks now, she had been searching for her beloved German shepherd, Nala, who had vanished without a trace from their backyard. What Elena didn't know was that her loyal companion was fighting the battle of her life just 2 miles away, hidden in the depths of an abandoned warehouse district. Nala had been more than just a pet to Elena and her young daughter Sophie. She was family, a protector, and a source of endless joy. When she disappeared, it felt like a piece of their hearts had been ripped away. Elena had posted flyers, contacted every animal shelter within a 50-mile radius, and even hired a private investigator, but every lead had gone cold. Meanwhile, in the shadowy corners of the industrial district, a different story was unfolding. Nala had been captured by a ruthless dog-fighting ring operated by a man named Viktor Petrov, a cold-hearted criminal who cared nothing for the animals he forced into his twisted enterprise. But Viktor had made a critical miscalculation. He had taken Nala just days before she was about to give birth. In the dank, concrete cell where Viktor kept his fighters, Nala had delivered 4 precious puppies. Despite the horrific conditions, her maternal instincts burned stronger than ever. She knew that soon Viktor would try to separate her from her babies, and she would fight with every fiber of her being to protect them. The warehouse reeked of fear and desperation. Other dogs, scarred and broken, cowered in adjacent cages. But Nala's eyes held a fierce determination that even Viktor's cruelty couldn't extinguish. She had been a police dog before Elena adopted her, trained to face danger, and those instincts were about to save not just her own life, but the lives of her innocent pups. On the night everything changed, Viktor arrived with 2 of his associates, planning to move Nala's puppies to a separate location. "Time to get Mama ready for her first fight," he sneered, reaching for the cage door. But as soon as his hand touched the latch, Nala's training kicked in. She had been waiting for this moment, conserving her strength, studying her captor's routines. The cage door swung open, and Viktor expected to see a cowering, submissive dog. Instead, he found himself face to face with 90 pounds of pure protective fury. Nala burst from the cage like a lightning bolt, her powerful jaws clamping down on Viktor's arm with the force of a steel trap. His screams echoed through the warehouse as she dragged him to the ground, her bite never releasing. But this wasn't about revenge. It was about survival. As Viktor's associates scrambled for weapons, Nala released her grip and spun around, placing herself between the men and her precious puppies. Her growls reverberated through the concrete walls, a primal warning that sent chills down the spines of even these hardened criminals. "Shoot her!" Viktor screamed, clutching his mangled arm. But before anyone could act, the warehouse suddenly blazed with blinding light. Car doors slammed, and authoritative voices boomed through megaphones. "Police! This is a raid!" For months, Detective James Thompson had been tracking Viktor's illegal operation. An anonymous tip about unusual activity in the warehouse district had finally given him the break he needed, but nothing had prepared him for the scene he witnessed as officers stormed the building. In the center of the chaos stood Nala, her body positioned protectively over her 4 tiny puppies, her eyes locked on Viktor, who writhed on the floor. The other caged dogs whimpered and cowered, but Nala stood tall, a warrior mother who had never backed down. "My God," whispered Officer Christina Hayes, a canine handler herself. "She's magnificent." As the police arrested Victor and his associates, Detective Thompson carefully approached Nala. Years of working with police dogs had taught him to read their body language, and he could see that despite her aggressive stance, she was exhausted and desperate. When he knelt down and extended his hand, speaking in gentle tones, something miraculous happened. Nala's tail gave the slightest wag. "You did good, girl," Thompson murmured, slowly reaching for the identification chip scanner on his belt. "Let's get you home." The scanner beeped, and Elena's information appeared on the screen. Within an hour, Detective Thompson was standing on Elena's doorstep, and the reunion that followed left everyone in tears. Sophie sobbed with joy as she buried her face in Nala's fur, while Elena could barely speak through her overwhelming gratitude. But the story doesn't end there. Viktor Petrov was sentenced to 8 years in prison for animal cruelty, illegal gambling, and assault. The other dogs rescued from his fighting ring were rehabilitated and found loving homes. Nala's 4 puppies grew strong and healthy, and 3 of them were eventually trained as service dogs, carrying on their mother's legacy of protecting and serving. The warehouse was demolished, and in its place the city built a memorial park dedicated to the animals who had suffered there. At its center stands a bronze statue of a German shepherd, head held high, protecting her young, a tribute to the courage of one extraordinary mother who refused to let evil triumph. Elena often brings Sophie to visit the memorial, and they tell Nala's story to anyone who will listen. It's a reminder that love is stronger than fear, that protection is more powerful than cruelty, and that sometimes justice comes on 4 legs with an unbreakable spirit. If this story moved you as much as it moved us, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories of animal courage and the unbreakable bond between humans and their 4-legged family members. Your support helps us continue sharing these amazing tales of resilience and love.